associated with the
Here we go.
10,
9,
8,
7,
6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Time's up.
Shut up and take my money.
Can't touch this. Can't touch this.
Shut up and take my money.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this.
Mutant.
Kamala, there's something different in your genes. Like a mutation.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
I see a little silhouette of a man.
Scaramouche, will you
Who's do the fandango?
Thunderbolted lightning.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, from the capital city of the United States of America, Washington, D.C., ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
It's time to talk hard!
Greetings and salutations, my friends. It's that time. It's that time. And yes, Ironcaster is laughing because it was all a surprise. Yes.
I had no idea he was going to do that to me.
Yes. Conan the Librarian 2.
Do you not know the Dewey Decimal System?
It's not a tumor.
Well, greetings, my brothers. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Hail to all of you in chat for joining us. Another great time to talk hard. And tonight is our in-between week where we get to take a pause at the end of the month. And we get to just relish in some of the good things. Get to relish in the moments where we are collecting things, consuming things, doing the things that we enjoy to do. And it's been a great month. It's been a great run. And Talk Hard continues to roll on. And with me, as always, Stone Loki. How are you, my brother?
I am doing great. How are you doing, Pops?
Hey man, it's been a busy day, a blessed day. We have a great breaking news announcement that we will drop later on. So make sure you stay with us, folks. We're going to drop that a little bit later in the show. For those of you to know, we have a huge announcement for next week, so you don't want to miss that. So stay with us for that. Below us, as always, the man, the myth, the legend, the one that keeps us in line in many, many ways. Ironcaster, how are you, my brother?
It is going great. I had a nice, quiet little birthday yesterday. Just kind of stayed in, watched some more Kung Fu Bugman.
Well, hail to you. Happy birthday. It's awesome to have you. I got to continue to stretch my legs and my arms and my fingertips to learn how to reface and deep fake and play around and have some fun. So that was my first sample, and we will have more tomorrow. And actually, tomorrow's is probably even more obnoxious than what I put these poor gentlemen through. Tomorrow's even worse. VacTube will be on with me and Magitech Mags for our bi-monthly Pops Talk. And let's just say, when it's VacTube, you got to kind of elevate your game of crazy, right? I mean, you guys know, like, crazy. It's crazy. So I, as Pops, would be doing a disservice if I didn't try to find a way to raise the game a bit. So I thought, all right, so I got something special for tomorrow night. So, but with that, guys, it's kind of our in-between week. Hail to all of you in chat. So awesome that you guys would come and hang out with us. And so many folks. Leia Rose has been in the house. Thank you so much, Princess Leia Rose, for coming up in here. And our wrench, the mod, the Pops mod himself, Chris Persia. Hail, brother. So awesome to have you running everything, keeping us in line, and keeping things under control.
The man, the memester.
He is a beast. He is a beast. My brother from another mother, like, oh gosh, one of the closest friends I've had for years. Dave Verdon, thank you so much for hopping in, Dave, hanging with us. And Zax, oh man, Zax, we are getting close, Zax. I think we're actually still subscribed to one another because it seems like anything we're close to working out a way of doing on each other's shows, and YouTube pulls a shenanigans. I literally kid you not, guys, 3 times I've been unsubscribed. It's so freaking frustrating, and shenanigans are always afoot. So he's here as well, and I'm sure there's some others watching based on our counter. So let's get to it. This was going to be kind of a fun show and tell. We did one a little while back, and Loki wasn't able to join us, and it was right on the heels of ICC, a massive haul, one of which that I still have the photo proof of, my friend. So didn't know if you were ready to jump into it, or if you want to do something else first.
I am. We can jump right into it. Let me share my. I've got pictures. I got pictures of a lot of stuff, so it wasn't just the ICC.
Okay, sounds great. Let's start with whichever you want. I'm going to make you big, show you off, and let's get to Stone Loki. All right.
Oh.
Okay, so that is a 2-part action figure. So the way you buy them separately, and you can get either the Godzilla or the King Ghidorah, and you meld them together. They like combine together to make one big action figure. There's a couple of different sets of these that you can get. That one is my favorite. I didn't want to overload you with nothing but Godzilla stuff, but
that's freaking great though.
That is my favorite of the bunch.
It looks like it's on a floor. So what's the scale on this? How big is this thing?
No, it's on a coffee table.
It's on a coffee table. Okay.
It's about maybe a foot.
It's decent. Hey, listen, that's nice.
I mean, it's big. Good. It's a decent size, statue. So
Hey, Soul Assassin's checking it out. He says, I got to get me a Ghidorah figure for, so yeah, hail to Soul Assassin. And yes, couldn't agree more. Oh, Soups.
I was in a comic book shop in Springfield, Missouri, and I ran into Keith, the movie geek, from Pop Culture Minefield, and I bought this when I was there. It's pretty cool. It's an all right statue. I got a bunch of these. So
all right. We'll do one more with Loki, and then we'll jump to Ironcaster.
That is an original Voltron. That is the original die-cast metal. The launchers still
the metal
work.
Ones.
Yeah, these are the metal die-cast metal. All the launchers still work. The buttons still operate. You can load up the fists. You can do launch the weapons out of them. Everything still operates. So it's a miracle. It's like
my envy level went to like a 12 on that. That's hardcore for me. Yes, hardcore. So, wow, that's good stuff. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Ironcaster is showing off like a stack all the time. Like he's always got stuff going on. So, let me see if I can get this.
Just get my software set up and gotta start with something start with some action figure stuff on my screen. I had to, go to the depths of the jungle to get this one, but
Ooh.
Oh, a little
creature
from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, they filmed a lot of that down here in Florida back in the day. That was some of my early pandemic rewatch, was going through the Universal Monsters, because I have a huge affinity for that. And, by the way, they just announced they're closing Universal Monsters, the little cafe over in Universal Studios. So I have great sadness for you, Loki. By the time you make it to Universal Studios, that cafe will probably be gone.
Yeah.
Tons of props from the original stuff, busts and stuff. It was such an amazing place. Oh, I love Universal Monster stuff.
All right. Let me grab one of my favorite figures here. I got a couple action figures show off, and then the stack.
Gotcha. Let's do
I didn't want to spoil it.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm with you, man.
Big old grinning Spider-Man.
All right. I like the mask pulled up one. Yeah. Giving us the
which I found the most humorous pose is where he's like checking out his own butt.
All right. We got to raise his right arm. Raise his right arm just up a little bit more. There you go. All right, look at that. He's like, hey, look at my butt right there. And the best part is in sign language. In sign language, that means I love
Captain
you.
America's ass.
Yeah, it is. This is Spidey's. In sign language, that means I love you. The little Spidey symbol.
Oh.
Yeah. So he's Spidey and go, I love you. Look at my butt.
And then, of course, just because I happen to have, I was going through the shelf. I was going through the cabinet looking for some ones to show off.
Oh, there it is. She's the queen. Hail.
Gotta show off a little Cara Dune.
Hail to Gina. Hail to Gina. All right. Thank you, Ironcaster. That's all right. All right. Stay salty. Stay salty. All right. So Soul Assassin says, let's see here. Okay, cool. Have you seen the NECA creature from the Black Lagoon figure? Is that the one you showed, NECA?
No, this was from a company called Jada Toys. And
cool.
the thing about NECA though is the figures are like very brittle. I've had NECAs I've bought. Like I bought one of the multiple. I bought an Alien and a Predator. I was gonna do a whole like scene on one of my shelves to have the two of them fighting, and the Alien broke before I could even get it out of the packaging.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've had the same problem with the mold. You can't get them out of the mold in the package. It's just like, this is nuts. So yeah, the last NECA I bought, we just bought it loose. We found somebody on eBay that had one loose, and I just bought it that. I forget which one it was. Anyway, so very cool. So let me start kind of lightweight. I'll work my way up. I actually didn't really have much planned. So I'll start pretty lightweight. This is a set that I have. This is probably one of the few modern comics that I have bought. And this was before I was doing YouTube again, before I kind of knew where kind of like comic books were and that kind of thing. And I literally bought it just for the gimmick of it all. So let's see. This is a couple of the Action 1000s.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, it's a 1000th issue. And it was more of just the sentiment of it all. Reading Action for so many years. Like, man, I'm not going to pretend that I'm a big Superman collector or anything like that. There are, I don't have these handy. I have a whole block of them on eBay. So there's a cover for all the different decades. So there's a 50s cover, 60s cover, 70s cover, all the way back to the beginning. And this particular one, there's also Loki's gonna like this. There's a sketch variant.
Yes, those are the best. I was just thinking about one I've got like that. Yes, absolutely.
Yep, sketch variants. And then what I really love too, especially if you have them graded, you can get virgins, which don't have any of the logos. You don't have any of the print or anything. You just have literally just the art, pure and clean. And every now and again, you can find they will do virgin sketches. So, yeah, that's what I'll start with.
I think I've got the like 1930s one of that. Just because I like the earlier art style, and that was. I figured if I'm in the shop, I'm going to get at least one copy of this because it's a legitimate 1000th issue. You kind of have to at that point.
That's
I
going
didn't know
in,
we were
so,
doing comics today. I would have brought some comics instead of.
Well, I just bought random stuff, so these are in my stack of to tease you folks as I continue to crawl forward. And thanks to Ironcaster, who really kind of helped me pull all this together on Thursday. We just did an impromptu San Diego Comic-Con stream. Just he and I just kind of like we were the anchors, and then just started reaching out to a bunch of folks that had been on. I didn't really want to look at big YouTubers. I wanted to find people that were, smaller YouTubers, but also were like completely different backgrounds. So we had people from 4, 5, 6 people up to like 9 and 10. We had people. It was chaos. We had a blast. This was a freaking great stream, and I pushed my hours up. So I got up over 3,000 hours. So I'm getting closer to the hours. I have plenty of subscribers. Don't know how that happened, but hey, listen, I'm going to take it. We're going to ride it to the bank. These comics, these are the Gleason sets. I have 2 sets of Gleason sets, just so you know. I have 2 sets. So at some point, when we get monetized, we have memberships, this will be one of those top tier giveaway type things that we'll do at some point to give away a Gleason set. Because I have 2 sets of Gleason, so that's why I wanted to show them off. So cool stuff. So I left Soul Assassin's thing up there. Probably should have just pulled that back, but it's all right. Let's see here. Got to heat the joints when you get them out of the box. Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, but I feel like
I get nervous doing that, man.
I feel like that the problem though especially with NECA is I shouldn't have to go to those lengths just to get the toy out of the box.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's go back around the horn here.
Talk about getting a toy out of a box.
All right, here.
Oh, did you see the
hail.
That is the what was it, Ironcaster?
I was saying, did you hear about the Dragon Zord?
Yes.
Oh, of course you did.
So this is the Soul of Shogoken San Diego Comic-Con limited edition. I think they only did like 500 of these.
Wow.
Green and black Megazord. So yes, that is the Dragon Zord staff because he's coming up in here in just a minute. But that is probably one of the my favorites in my whole collection because it's not something you see every day. It's metal, it's shiny, it is green and black. It is not the regular Megazord colors. So as soon as I saw it, I fell in love with it. I was like, oh my god, I have to have one of those. So
that's
and
awesome.
His shield is laying there on the ground in front of him. Let me go through this really quick. So I'm going to skip a couple of these. Yeah, that's a White Tiger. That is Draconis. That is Green Ranger. But this is the Dragon Zord. This is the Soul of Shogoken. And it's heavy. You pick this thing up and you're like, damn, what did they make this? It's metal. It's metal. It transforms. Both of these transform really, really well. It's shiny. Obviously, the chest lights up. So the little red dots on the chest light up and it does its little Dragon Zord deal. I love both of these figures. They're sturdy. They're well put together. They're metal. You can't beat metal. A couple of pieces on them are plastic, but overall, you can tell they've got weight. They're metal. They're tough. They don't break. I love both of these. Absolutely, positively love both of these.
They're the 2018, it says, the 2018 exclusives. That's nice. Those are super nice. So that's awesome. Wow, fantastic.
I've been watching through the current series of the Super Sentai, and like the last couple of weeks they've had the Green Ranger suit. They've had the white Tiger Ranger suit on. So it's been fun to see like some of the original like Sentai footage, like new Sentai footage using those suits again.
Yeah, awesome. Absolutely. Those are my two favorites of the Green Ranger, and obviously Tommy levels up to White Tiger and the American Power Rangers. But yeah.
Soul Assassin Head said, "Congratulations to me. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much."
I never liked any of the other Zords as much as I loved those first two. I may get the, what is it? How did they call that Brontosaurus that you could add to it?
Titanosaurus?
Titanus, yeah. I may get Titanus one day. I don't know. Some people said the Soul of Shogoken Titanus is weak. I love that.
The role-playing game for Power Rangers came out. I have the core book. And then they went and released dice for it, like a dice set, which includes for a 2-sided coin, Ranger coins.
Nice.
I'm like, of course, if I'm gonna get one set of these dice, I gotta get the Green Ranger. And I promptly dropped the coin.
I'm gonna go Power Rangers. I'm gonna hold out for the chunky chicken with its scissors. Looking is exactly what I'm referring to. So I'm gonna get myself a chunky chicken. So awesome. So Claude's here. Hey Claude, how you doing, my brother? Thanks for hanging out with us. Show and tell time. We're gonna swing back around here to Ironcaster and see what he's gonna showcase next.
Well, let me change my camera again. So I do my little reveal here.
No problem. Gray's chiming in. Wakazashi's Tea House. So he's chiming in from Japan. Hey there, Gray. Thanks for joining. And be on with Gray on Thursday. All right. Let me make this bigger.
It's my nutsack.
Whoa. What's going on here? He's showing it off. He's got his Michigan nutsack. Oh, my goodness gracious me.
Sadly, this company's not around anymore, but I have this
There it
joke
is.
I can always use now. But
Oh yeah, Ravenloft.
yep, for
Yes.
oh, I freaking love this module. This is like arguably the most iconic Dungeons and Dragons adventure.
Hmm.
Like so iconic that this cover here was ripped off for Castlevania too.
That's
And,
awesome. Yeah.
You know, I thought this is a reprint of it, but I just wanted to at least, you know, show off something a little.
Does all that come with all the maps? Because I remember I had a crap load of maps for that.
Oh, I think it does, but because the print on demand of it has. Oh, there we go.
They're all in the back. Okay, those used to go on blue poster size maps. So they'd be like poster size. They were huge, and they were blue and white instead of orange.
Yeah, it has a scale on it, so you could recreate it if you needed to.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it is. That Ravenloft thing was so massive back in the day. My gosh, that thing sold like crazy everywhere you went.
And I mean, the story, even the story about how this adventure came about, how this changed this adventure fundamentally changed how people saw, you know, the villains. That they weren't just he wasn't just Strahd wasn't just a monster sitting sitting on a balcony waiting to be come and attacked. That
they were more than like an NPC. Like a villain was treated like an NPC in a way up until this point, and it was kind of like, no, it's not. It's like it's got a backstory and it's got a personality and character and stuff like that. So yeah.
Well, that and the fact that they were like, well, why would a vampire just be in a dungeon next to goblins? No,
yeah, good point. Yeah,
the Lord. He's the Lord of the vampires. He commands you.
Right. Good. Very awesome show. That's awesome. Oh yeah, there we go.
One of my favorite I now I'm getting into some of the more comic stuff.
All right, we'll only do one or so because I don't want to. We got to spread it out a little bit.
All right.
So.
Well, I've got a whole.
Yes, I know you do.
No, I'll do this will be the last one, then I'll pass her up.
Came in America.
Of course, like I said, this has been one of my favorite indie comics I've discovered in the last few years. Which starts off showing off, you know, a good dad helping out his father with her costume for a pageant. And, you know, we have nice little quotes here. I hope I shall possess firmness and virtue enough to maintain what I consider the most enviable of all titles, the character of an honest man.
Wow, George Washington. It's good stuff, man. Art's great. Love the action. Yeah, you've shown pieces of this before. It's not going to get old. It's going to just, it's classic. It's good stuff.
And the fact is they keep releasing new comics. So it seems like every 6 months I can expect a new volume of this.
That's great, man. Look at that full page. Oh, yeah. It's good, man. That's the 90s influence right there. Loving it. Yep. Came in America. That's awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. So let me I think I mentioned these briefly on either our stream or one of the other streams that I would show these before they go into the old long-term storage box. I had found that I had this set and I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, and I looked and saw, I'm like, how could these be so cheap? They're just, I guess there's no demand, but so in the early 90s, once sort of like the traditional Marvel cards kind of took off, they also had inked other licensing deals. So that's where you get sort of like these other trading card sets. And this was really common back then. You would have these different sets by Comic Images. So Comic Images did these. And so this is a Ghost Rider 2 set. Here's Ghost Rider 2. Very, very distinguished art, ripped directly from the comic books. So this is not artwork that was unique for their set. This is directly out of their comic book. So this is literally like 1990s Ghost Rider comics for you. Exquisite detail. I mean, just incredible. Mark Teixeira's run is truly fantastic. This is Blaze. Johnny Blaze. He's not Ghost Rider in the 90s. He was his own character. Dan, is it Ketch? Ketch, I think is how you would say it. Ketch. But yeah, this picks up like all of the incredible art from some of these different issues. So here's one where he's on the bike. They're just beautiful. But some of these are selling for nothing. So let me get to a couple more.
His bike always stood out to me.
Oh, it's its own character. So this is a famous comic book cover for those of you that collected it during that era. Here's one of the crossover covers with Spidey and Hobgoblin. It's a very deep, theologically driven. Hobgoblin feels like he can just basically be the judge and jury. And then it transitions pretty well with a very religious overtone to it all. Puts him in direct conflict with Vengeance, Ghost Rider. But they have great cards in here. This is one of the crossovers with Wolverine. A tribute card to that one.
Nice.
Super popular card.
If there's going to be any two characters you cross over with in the 90s,
yes, it's
Wolverine and Spider-Man.
Wolvie, Spidey, and actually Hulk and Ghost Rider were on that level in the 90s. But look at this. This great isolated Morbius card. Beautiful Morbius card. So you can get a set of these for like nothing. I'm talking like probably $20 shipped, $15 shipped. I also had, and this is what kind of drew my eye when I found these, was like these were in a binder, and I have the full set of all of the glow in the dark cards. So these were insert cards.
Ooh.
Sorry, they glow in the dark. So this is the famous silhouette. I believe Ghost Rider 25 has that kind of cover. And it goes through. You can see this is one where he's being confronted by Cable from the X-Men.
Another character you got to cross over with in the 90s.
Yep, came along. And then here's one where he crosses over with Punisher. So I found somebody who had these for like $1 or $2 a piece on eBay. So I'm like, I'm keeping mine then. I'm not letting them go for $1 or $2. These are nice. First off, you're only going to get a couple of inserts per box. So I'm not quite sure how they've stayed so inexpensive, because I don't want to say cheap, but inexpensive. But Comic Images is not as thought of as the top sets and Skybox sets as far as trading cards go, because the sports card people don't hold them in the same kind of regard. Let's be honest, they're the equivalent of a normie that are into cards. So that's what they are. So Ghost Rider 2 set going in my long-term box. So be something I'm not even going to look at even trying to get rid of. Maybe if there's a movie, maybe there's some interest or something like that. But I'm enjoying them. I enjoyed thumbing through them and looking at them and checking them out. So, all right, let's see here. Gray says, Ghost Rider is one of the most iconic characters Marvel have, taking a design perspective. Yeah, Ghost Rider really is. I mean, especially again that run. I'm such a massive fan of that 90s run. I love it. I mean, it's just beautiful, beautiful stuff. And actually, the stories move really, really fast. It's very underrated in the storytelling. It's a little drawn out at some point when you get into like the issues like in the 30s, but those first couple years are great.
As far as design,
Johnny
that
didn't
epic crossover with Ghost Rider, Blade, Spider-Man. That's when I was just like, God, I love those crossover episodes.
And that all culminated when they released Midnight Suns. Remember they rolled out Midnight Suns that's when they introduced Morbius and stuff like that into the mix, and you started to get into Ghost Rider 28. They all came poly-bagged, and they rolled out new #1 issues, and it really created a subculture of this sort of like light horror. I mean, because I don't want to say it was horror, but yeah, Chris Purchase says that story arc was just boss level. Yeah, it really, really was, Chris. Talk about a must read, guys. Go back to that 90s to 92 era. Ghost Rider crossing over Blade. Also, Darkhold was one of the titles it spun into. We just really, really good stuff. So Zach's asking about Marvel card boxes. Okay, so Marvel card boxes have peaked and valleyed like crazy in the last couple of years because of the pandemic. Excuse me. Series 1 boxes sealed got into like $600 to $1,000 easily during the pandemic. Like, it was nuts. And I had a Series 2 box that we ripped, and it spiked at about 300. So those sets got crazy, but it's really, I think we talked about Marvel cards during that era. It's really hard to find them like mint, like printed properly. Corners are still good and all that. Because if you have loose cards, a lot of time they're just not high quality. But yeah, they're worthy of a lot of consideration for collectors. A lot of folks are doing displays where they'll put the comic and the card like in a display. You know what I'm saying? So they'll have, Ghost Rider 25 and the card. They'll be in together in a case, like a partnership
Shadow
or
box?
something. Well, even a lot of these sports guys. I mean, again, I hate using sports guys as an example, but their displays are just different. For a comic book person like me, I'd rather have them on the wall, mounted, or something like that, or a special shelf. They have a lot of those floor-to-ceiling glass cases, so they'll have floor-to-ceiling glass cases, and they'll have a shelf of like, they're into Wolverine or Punisher or something like that. That's where you'll see these type of comics and cards and things like that. So, anyway, all right. So we'll swing back around to Loki. Did I miss everybody in chat to see if I guess anything else here? Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, good stuff, guys. Yeah. So awesome one's popping in. What we got tonight? Awesome one. Yo, poppers. I'll take it. So, Gray did a little Sandman trailer reaction. He said it didn't make him as angry as expecting. I think that Gray and I are probably not going to see quite as eye to eye, but yeah, we'll see. So, all right, Loki, what are we going to next?
You mentioned vampires.
There we go. Ooh.
Oh.
Wow.
I had my eye on this for a while.
Yeah, the intricacies of that flame. It's so good.
I love mine. It's one of the nicest. I mean, it's not just a statue. It's got the fire. It's got the fire behind him. This was very well thought out. He's not just standing there. It's got more life to it than other statues. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to drop the money on it. I'm going to get it.
It's super cool. I'll say hail to Brooklyn Buddha. Thanks for dropping in. Awesome. Thanks. That's beautiful, man. I love the statues that will put flames, foreground, background, doesn't matter. There's a Darth Vader with like the fire sword. Like, forget about lightsaber. There's actually like fire and stuff. Whew. Oh, they're so beautiful. It adds so much depth.
Speaking of depth, this next one, again, one of my favorites.
Oh, the crow. Yes, with the window.
It's got the window he got thrown out of, his guitar, his book, the crow on his shoulder. Again, This is one of those that you see that you're like, okay, it's not just a statue. That's like a display all of its own.
Christopher is confirming, yes, Castlevania Dracula, yes.
Yes, that's the Dracula from the Castlevania Netflix series.
Yep.
Specifically.
Yo, Waka Waka. Gotcha. That's always funny to me. Unleashed Star Wars figures, the ones that have the fire effect. I didn't know that's the ones I was speaking of, but yeah, there's a few. Boba Fett one and the Darth Vader one are just like eye popping, like great, like it's freaking amazing. So
yeah, this is a figure. This is a figure I could see definitely building around. Like this is like the centerpiece on the shelf that has maybe one figure off to the left or right, or
yes. That is exactly what it is, because Castlevania is to the left, there's a Transform, and then there's two more figures to the right of this. So, yes, this is the center shelf. Yeah. Absolutely, brother. Let's see. Oh, that's a little Doom guy. You don't want to see him, but that...
Oh, look at that Predator.
That's another one of those that I saw that I was like, okay, this is something special. It's got the gargoyle that he's standing on. In the movie, it's not just the Predator standing there. There's more to it.
And the motion.
Yep. And the only thing I have to complain about that thing is his spear, the ends will bend. So every once in a while, I got to kind of straighten them out. The ends of the spear will bend. But everything else about that statue is great. Before we move on, I bought a half dozen G.I. Joe statues that are not included in this. The reason why those bastards aren't included in this is all the legs are too weak to support the weight of the body. So they all bend forward and lean forward to the point where they're just laying there. Even though they've got a base, the legs bend.
Horrible design.
The ankles are so weak that the legs bend and they just droop over time like saggy titties.
When were those made?
Those were made right before the pandemic. They're the PCB G.I. Joe statues.
That bad. That's terrible.
So the PC, I think they're PCB statues. A lot of these are made by the same company, but you don't see any of that. Why? Because they're well made. They're strong. The G.I. Joe ones just they droop, they bend over, and it's crap. So.
Wow. Well, Scott Westbrook also popped in here. Hey to Scott. And Gray says, R.I.P. Brandon Lee. What a performance he gave in Crow. We all say amen. And that Crow will be one of those that we do at some point, Gray. We will definitely do a talk hard. Well, I took out Loki and not his picture. Sorry, Loki.
It's cool. I was he took me out. He'll realize here in a minute what
I have to, Boomer. I
hope so.
So, it is what it is. Sorry about that. It would never be a personal thing, of course. So, let's see. Yeah, no, it's Crow's going to be one of those we'll have to put on our radar screen. We kind of have these lists. They're kind of like these like fluid plans, and we kind of throw things against the wall, and then I think it's only fair. So we've got 8 people on one list. I don't know how many it says on the other one because the other one doesn't match. So the numbers at the top never match what actually it says on my StreamYard versus what YouTube will say. I don't know how that's even possible, but they don't ever match. So we have big news for next week. We'll announce it for the first time here. So you'll hear next week. We're going to reshuffle our plans next week. Our Tremors video is one that's been very well received, by the way. The Tremors fans, the Tremors fan club, their online presence. And I reached out, and it was like, all right, we're going to do this, boys. Let's do it. And sure enough, director Ron Underwood, who also directed City Slickers, will be on with us next week, Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. Yeah, Ron Underwood, director of City Slickers and Tremors. He actually is also directing an episode of the brand new AMC's Tales of the Walking Dead. So I don't know which episode he's directing, but I know he is. He's excited to talk about it. I'm not sure what he'll be able to say about it and that kind of thing. I know I had Ironcaster modded up for the spontaneous stream we did last week. I may have to just add a little bit of help to Chris just in case, because I will definitely reach out to the Tremors people. Because our live stream's gotten several hundred views now. Like it's got a little, it's been a little shared by those folks. I'd wake up and like, whoa, it's the Tremors people. I guess they just share like whatever. But yeah, no, Ron was cool. His people were great. So yeah, man, it's kind of exciting, isn't it?
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. I can't wait.
We're a couple months into this and landing Ron and Underwood, man.
I wasn't expecting it to for you to tell me that. Like, we actually got it.
Yeah. They've been super cool. His people were like, we love the video. We thank you so much for the video. Yeah, and it was very clear we're fans. Like this was not even what little criticisms we had of Tremors. It was obviously because it was made in the 90s and they're very well of those things. But it was obviously from a very strong fandom, and it was a very honest, I think, conversation about that film, and a lot of praise for Ron Underwood and what he was able to accomplish. And I think it's all worthy. I also said I wouldn't be remiss if I didn't ask about City Slickers. Like, I mean, literally, it's his biggest film. It launched his career. It just elevated everything for him. And I actually wrote a paper on City Slickers in college. I mean, that was my paper on editing in one of my classes, was on City Slickers, because it came out. So yeah, man. Next week, Ron Underwood, folks. You're the first to hear. We'll announce it later on again of the show for those of you that might come in later on. So, and thanks to all of you for making this happen and coming here and hanging out with us. So. Let's see. Ironcaster, we're back on you, or do you want me to go, or what are you thinking? You ready?
Actually, yeah, I can. I've got a little bit of a 1-2 here.
All right, let's do that.
So last week during the Comic-Con stuff, we were talking about some Spawn and that, and
oh yeah, that's news.
I wanted to show off one or two items here.
Oh, he's so good. Those capes.
Oh, dude, yes, yes,
Capes.
yes.
McFarlane gets it, man.
Because it's like, how can but they
They
got the
move
cape
too.
hinging.
Oh, they're so good.
It's like the posing's a little limited because it's a giant cape. It's a giant wing cape. But I mean, this thing just no matter what few poses I'm able to put on my shelf, he always looks like he's ready for action.
Oh, McFarlane gets the capes. McFarlane gets the cape. I don't want to take away from Ironcaster. I'm going to put. Don't go away with Spawn. I'm just going to take it down for just 1 second. All right, let me share my screen to give you guys a perspective of McFarlane and how much of a fanboy he is. This comic book is now considered a key. Not because it's relevant to anything other than it's McFarlane showing off Batman. That's Batman. That is the first Todd McFarlane Batman cape issue. Like, look at this. Look at this intricate work. He actually did issues before this book, by the way. But this book has just become iconic. It's some random book that we didn't consider as highly collectible as it is. It has gone berserk now with grading and stuff like that because people love covers. But it shows you how much this dude just adores capes and stuff like that. The movement of them all. He just gets it. So let's go back to Ironcaster. I'm just so impressed that one's hinged like that. Like you could just really move it around regularly like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Golly.
Oh.
And I know Gray is losing his business right now because Gray does review the modern Spawn comic book. So if you're curious at all about Spawn or even a random fan, Gray has broken down all the titles. He talks about which ones are good or bad. He's shown off there's one. Gray, put in the number again. I always forget which one. I'm pretty sure you said it was Scorched 9, I think it is, where it's all black, white, and red. There's no other colors in the book. That's freaking cool to me. I like stuff like that. Beautiful.
But the reason we were bringing this, the reason I pulled good old Spawn here out was because they had gone and recently announced a new crossover.
Yeah, but you got this before that was announced.
Yeah, it was like literally the day before they announced it.
The Ironcaster showed this off on our stream on Thursday, and then I think it was Friday morning when I was texting you, and you had already like posted to me. I just hadn't seen your message yet. They confirmed a Batman Spawn. I'm like, yes. So, listen, man, these are not the best of stories, but they're freaking great and beautiful to look at. Oh my God, they're so much fun.
I mean, just this cover is my favorite of the two because obvious.
Oh yeah, look at it. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes, Solus happened. This is exactly what happened. We were literally, Ironcaster showed this off on our Thursday night stream while San Diego Comic-Con was going on. We were just showing off some stuff as we were talking about different things. And it's the next day when this was announced. And he says it's King Spawn number 10. It's black, white, and red. There's no other colors in it. So it's so cool. Look at those spreads. Oh my gosh, they're so freaking good. Look at that. Oh, such a nerd. I'm such a nerd.
I lucked out because I had a coworker who just literally gave me a giant like bag full of comics, and both of these happen to be in there, as well as a bunch of the early Spawn issues.
That's so awesome. I gotta dig mine out. They're in like, you know how Batman's crossed over with so many things? I mean, you guys can both attest to that, right? So like I have like the miscellaneous box where there's just it's Batman and something else. So it's like the Batman and Spawn is in there, you know, the Spawn and Batman, the Captain America, the Spider-Man, all the crap that they do with like Batman and something else box. Oh my gosh, look at that. Just so good. So good. You know what I wish they had done, and maybe they've done it. I don't know it. So if you guys speak to it, if you've seen it, I'd like to see Batman and Ghost Rider. I'd like to see Ghost Rider showing up and doing a vengeance theme. Batman going, whoa, listen, you know, that's my gig, and you're getting a little too carried away. So, yeah, Spawn's definitely got a lot of great stuff, man. Those early issues of Spawn were just like gold.
The best, yes.
And you can tell which company put the book out just because which
the
team,
format, yeah, who's on top,
which one's name came first.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got to be honest, just the style of the covers kind of shows you how Image was going to approach things versus how DC was showcasing things during that time. The one on the left is a very stereotypical, 90s DC looking cover, with the logos, one character in the foreground and background, like it's very systematic. Yeah. Whereas Image was more interested in movement. That's why you see them leaping and stuff like that. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's more like you said, it is the movement, but it is paying that homage to one of the most iconic Batman covers.
Sure, yeah, it was like paying tribute to The Dark Knight Returns, absolutely. So, Awesome One says he's got a copy of those. So yeah, man,
Good man,
you gotta check them out, man. And never got into the classic Spawn comics, but reading the current Gunslinger run, really good. Yeah, listen, Soul Assassin, highly recommend the very beginning of Spawn, very beginning, especially up until you get into around 20 probably, but definitely the first dozen or so. And the best part was Todd was really getting overwhelmed trying to, like, the company went from being like a cool thing to like a lot of work. So there's an issue that has Miller on it. Who did Cerebus? His last name is it Sim? Dave Sim? Is that right, guys? You guys remember what I'm talking about? Blue Aardvark? There's one of those issues. Sorry, I don't remember it off the top of my head. Anyway, so those kinds of things are great books, by the way. Highly recommend those if you guys can get it to them. Greg Capullo, art is just, it was awesome. Like, he really kind of even makes Todd better, let's be honest. Just solely does. Decepticons Cave, hey, man. And so, yeah, I got them. Yeah, man. It's awesome. Showcase them off, man. You love to do that kind of stuff. I always enjoy going through your stream and stuff like that. So, never opened this. Hey, you don't have to open. Just show the covers. So. The Gray is highly recommending Gunslinger Spawn. It's brilliant. Brett Booth killing on the art. I agree with about Brett Booth art. I agree with that. Haven't read them. I've seen the art. And there is Judge Dredd about Batman. Yes.
I read the first 3 or 4 of Gunslinger Spawn, and I was really enjoying it. But my issue was space became an issue, and I had to drop a couple of books.
Sure.
Which is unfortunate because that book is really good.
Thanks, Chris. Yep, that's who it was. Dave Sims. Yeah. There's an issue there. That's around 10, 11, 12, I think, in that general area there. And there's a Judge Dredd one. Yep. And Gap After Dark, formerly known as Gap. You always be a Stargate to me, brother. Hail. And Decepticon needs to do it just a show and tell, like a marathon stream whenever. Yeah. I'll be there for 12 hours showing off all the cool stuff. All right. So with that, let's swing back around. I didn't show anything this round, did I? Let me just do it. I'm going to do a little bit of a pass because I only have 2 things really left, but I also want to plug this. So this is tomorrow night. So tomorrow I mentioned we have Pops Talk. So VacTube will be on with me and Mags. So Magitech Mags and the VacTube team. Daryl the Derelict and Darth Alina will be on me tomorrow. We'll be doing some different news stories, different stories and things of interest. But afterwards, another interview this week's. I shouldn't say this week because that implies I have them every week. That's not true. But I have another comic book creator this week. This is via Project Storytime. So Josh came on. We were doing show and tell stuff like this. I was just doing random stuff. I opened the mic and he showed us. He had a copy of a comic quote I haven't seen. And I'm like, yeah, let's see it. Yep, sure enough. The Fuhrer and the Tramp. Yes, Charlie Chaplin meets Adolf. But look at the art on the back. Yep, you are going to have a ball with this graphic novel. So there was 5 issues, and I have to apologize to the creator whenever he comes on our show on tomorrow, because the first thing I said was, how could they not have? And of course, issue number 5's cover. I'm trying to get to the right one. This is a great book because it is rooted in history, but it's also just about having fun. Like there are serious segments where they are literally not taking life very seriously, and you can tell, and it plays perfectly. But I asked when I saw the cover, I was like, how could they not have the famous? Oh, yes, the cover of issue number 5. So it really was. But I didn't know because this is what Josh showed, right? So I was like, oh, come on, man. And then I got the book. So anyway. This is also, and I don't normally recommend graphic novels over the original content if you can afford it, but I don't think this would be in the original books. They added it, but in the back it says Talkin' Tramp, and they have director commentary. So between the writer and the artist, they start discussing some of the layout ideas that they did and why. And some things are ripped directly out of historical events. Errol Flynn has a role, so that's Errol Flynn. Just this stuff was fantastic. You don't get this very much in modern graphic novels. This is something that you would see like in an anniversary type graphic novel, but they waste no time being iconic. Look at this. This is the inside of issue number 1. This is a blast. So anyway, the writer Sean McCardle will be on with us tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. I've reached out to so the artist is Dexter Wee. Dexter Wee is actually in the Philippines, so we have a big, massive. I think Greg can relate the 12, 13-hour time jump with people overseas, so that probably won't work out. But it'll be fun to talk about a book that's kind of from modern times. Literally, it's just a fun read. If you just want a fun read, I've seen copies as cheap as like $10, $12, up to $20. It's not an expensive graphic novel or anything like that. Yeah, retail was only $20. I think it's what it says. Retail was $20. So you should be able to find a used copy or something like that if you see it. So it's The Fuhrer and the Tramp. Fun time. So it's kind of like, good stuff. So awesome one says Super Tramp. Not exactly. So the Battle of the Mustaches. Trust me, they play this up like you would not believe, Soul Assassin. There are panels, there are jokes. Charlie's naked. There's an FDR scene. There's a cameo, a famous director that I don't want to spoil. It is a blast, guys. I am telling you right now. It's like it's trying to be serious, but it's not trying to be serious. I don't know exactly how I could relate it. What I can relate it to exactly. I'm going to ask Josh what he thinks. That'll be part of what we talk about tomorrow. So
I hope they give us some hijinks with it, where they wind up both losing their clothes and have to swap clothes.
I don't think they swap clothes, but there's definitely the loss of clothes. There are shenanigans. There's a lot of innuendos, a lot of gags. Yeah. I don't want to. Yeah, it's a fun read. I just want to save a lot more for tomorrow night. So again, if you're able to join us for tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, we'll be talking to Sean McCardle about that creation. That's a great find. And Josh is going to join us and co-host with me, so that'd be fun. And Gap, you did not miss. You did not miss. No, you did not. We were just working our way along. But guess what? Loki is up. He is up. So let's see what's going on next. Dun dun.
So
dun dun.
That is the Excelsior from the ICC Con that I went to. That came in the box. Came with all the stickers. I have not put the stickers on there because I need like a whole day to sit down with some tweezers and set it and let it sit. And you don't just slap stickers on something like that, especially when it costs that much to get. So that is the first one. That's actually in my bedroom behind, it's like in the corner by the TV next to the skull. I have skulls, various skulls. Skulls for the skull god and blood for the blood god. Skull for the skull throne. And yeah. So that is the Excelsior, though. This is the first thing you see when you walk into my apartment.
I think didn't you get that relatively recently?
Just about. It was last year. It was end of the year last year. So that's Bob. That is a full-size xenomorph head on the wall. The Star Trek stuff is below that, so I kind of wanted to show this off. But there is horror, there is alien, there is sci-fi. As soon as you walk in the front door, this is what you see at the end of the hall.
Yeah, you text me because we were talking about your love of Predator and my love of aliens, and you were like showing me Bob. I'm like, oh yes.
That is the Punisher. That is the Punisher Warzone #2.
Okay.
I have not found #1. I'm working my way to trying to find a #1. That is.
You need a Punisher War Journal #1.
Warzone.
Warzone. Okay.
So we've got little alien figures there. We've got a Jason mask.
Yeah, Jason mask. Yeah.
And of course we've got the. That's a bigger picture of Bob.
Bigger picture of Bob. Freddy glove.
Okay. So this is again. I haven't had a chance to put all the stickers on yet. This is the DS9. that I got everything was in it. You've got the little mini Enterprise that connects to the nacelle. It lights up. The phasers fire. The photon torpedoes fire. It's got a tractor beam. All of that works. So it was just a matter of putting the batteries in and going to town.
Now hold on. We have to go. We have to go. Yeah, we have to go. Yeah, we have to go another hour. We got to slow down. We got to slow down. We get excited. We get excited. We just go. Oh, keep going. No, wait. We have to slow down. Dave Bob's here. Pop goes the weasel. I'll take it, Dave Bob. Howdy, my friend. And Soul Assassin says the rope room would be proud. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. What do you think we bond over, man? He did with me too. Like, ooh.
I saw that alien head in a game store. Believe it or not, it was up on the wall, and it didn't have a price tag on it, or not that I could see anyway. And I asked the guys. I said, "That's not for sale, is it?" And they go, "Oh yeah." And I said, "Well, how much is it?" And he goes, "Well, I have to take it down because the price tag is on the back and I don't remember." And I was like, "Okay." And they unmounted it from the wall, and he told me how much it was, and I said, "Okay, I just bag it up. I'll take it home." And he goes, "I don't think we have the box for it, and I don't think we have a bag big enough for it." I said, "I'll just take it out just like that." And believe me, the people at the mall were looking at me like I was like, just like, what in the hell? And, I was walking out to the car with a giant xenomorph head called Bob.
It's one of those things you always see at these stores and you think, no one's going to buy that. That thing's just going to be there forever.
Or they're not for sale. Like I remember, like I think I told you guys about like the 1-to-1 life-size Slimer I saw in like a mom and pop's comic shop or toy shop in like Central Florida. And I'm like, "Is he for sale?" And he was like, "Well, not really, because you can get them cheaper online." And I asked him, I started poking, but Slimer was so freaking cool. I was like, "Is he for?" Because you have to ask, because some things you're kind of like, "That's not for sale." Yeah. No, I agree. No, he had.
If you ever loved Galaxy Quest, the comic book store I go to has a one of those life-size alien.
Ooh, yeah, cool.
We are the whatever guys. Yeah, the tentacle monsters. They have a full-size one of those that I think they want like $4,000 for. I'm just like, no, it's gonna be there forever, like you said, and nobody's ever gonna buy that. But then one day you'll go in there and it'll be gone.
And what you buy them for that. So if you're gonna have a store, you want to buy a couple of those if you can for displays, and people take pictures with them or do whatever and stuff like that. So because $4,000 is probably more now because of inflation, but I was gonna say up to $6,000 for like anything that's like 1-to-1. The Ninja Turtle one, which they'd rolled out for the theater. I mean, I don't care what you care about the Ninja Turtle movies, the newer ones, but they rolled out 1-to-1 Ninja Turtles in theaters. Man, those things were spectacular. Oh my gosh, they were spectacular. 8.5 foot tall or so. Just beautiful molding on those. So I think we're pretty well caught up. Soul Assassin was noticed that Loki gets credit for bagging a Xeno. Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah, absolutely. A couple of you popped in here since we said it, so we're going to say it again real quick. Next week, Talk Hard, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We are set to have on director Ron Underwood. Yep, that's right. Ron Underwood, the director of Tremors, City Slickers. He's also working on the new Tales of the Walking Dead TV show. He's going to join us at 5:30 to 7, talking about those different projects and hanging out with us and that kind of thing. So I'm actually going to go ahead and open my email and see if we have further confirmation. We're confirmed. I'm waiting for like press photos and stuff. Like, what does he want us to use? So never underestimate the fans who have lots of cash. Yay, Soul Assassin. Listen, man, you never know. And actually, to be honest, a lot of times with that kind of thing is you don't know where to go get it. So even if you want it, a lot of those people are like, access is just as much of a problem as it is about just having cash. So
Space Cadet Comics. It is in the Woodlands. Space Cadet Comics, and it can be a pain to find because it's like down in a neighborhood. So you're driving through this neighborhood thinking, I'm in a neighborhood, and then you'll come to a little mini mall, and it's in this little mini mall. But I mean, they own half the mini mall. So it's a big comic book shop. They got their own pizza place. There's a video of it on my channel, Decepticon. If you check it out, it's in there somewhere.
That's awesome.
Those are like the best shops to go to, where you can get like the pizza and some old vintage video games, and just because you have so much variety there, there's always a new conversation to be had.
Yep, oh yeah, they have their own toy section now too. They expanded, so they've got their own toy section now. Pizza, They do have a couple video games, but really classic toys. They've got some really cool stuff in there. They've even got some like Gen 1 Thundercat stuff, like the Thunder Tank and all kinds of stuff behind glass cases in the back. It's just beautiful.
All right, so here's the latest. I checked my email. Oh, first off, Oswald, just to be perfectly clear, he says Pops is connected. No, Pops is not connected. Ask the gentleman. I told them I was going to do these crazy things because I am tenacious and I am fearless. I have no problem throwing out something 100 times and being rejected 98 times. Because as long as the two come through, I'm good to go. Let's keep it moving. Just keep it moving. Have no harm, no foul. Ron Underwood's email response. Here's the email back. It says he'll check with AMC to see what stills and promotional materials they want us to use. His episode is the one with Terry Crews and Olivia Munn. So each episode has a different cast member. It's an anthology show with different stories and time settings. Can you believe this, guys? We're getting Ron Underwood, who has, to me, the two biggest names on the show. And I didn't go through the massive IMDb list, so maybe that may be a little biased, but freaking great, man. And he's the first episode. So it's the first episode, August 14th, Tales of the Walking Dead. Ron Underwood will be here. He's happy to plug his show. And I'm like, we're game, man. We could talk Tremors. We could talk City Slickers. And we'll talk, I guess we're talking Walking Dead. So there we go, guys. Next week on Talk Hard. So, wow. The world is crazy right now. So, let's see. Awesome. Well, you haven't checked to see your comic shops. We got to get you out there, man. Got to get you out there, man. Get some stuff. So, Ironcaster, I think you're up, my friend. Let's see what you want to show off next.
I've got about 2 or 3 items left here in the stack. I have a couple items off the side, but I can show off a little more.
Oh, yes. This is such a great comic book. Mine graded and I sold it. I'd be honest. I took the cash.
Oh, I haven't even busted this out of the packaging. This is yet another one of the comics from this pile I was just given. So it's cost me nothing. If I sold it for $1 right now, I'd make more profit on it.
I'll buy that for $1.
Hey.
By the way, folks, if you have this comic book or you have this era of comic books, Venom Lethal Protector #1 is very similar. It has a card stock cover. It's not like paper. It's not like the normal type of text. It's like a card stock, so it's real thick. But where his thumb is, when you read them, all the stress marks, all the little indentations will be there. So it's extremely difficult to find high qualities of those. And then, because it's cardstock, the very top and the very bottom edge of the corner, a little to your left, back where you were, where the 2099 is, and up where that logo is, all the way to the left, top, other side, that was side up there, very corner and the very bottom, they get white. So, beautiful comic.
So Pops, are you saying that if I had one of those signed by the inker in a hard plastic cover, never opened, never read, that would be worth something?
Oh, I definitely would think it would be worth something. I will say this about signatures. Signatures get tricky because CGC will not authenticate the signatures unless it's one of their events that they witness. They have you have to go through a certification process to be a witness for signatures. So when you see things that are CGC certified for signatures, it's because they went through their process. You can still have them graded with the signature. I actually just told someone this weekend, you send them to a different company. It's a sister company, like one of the original founders left and started his own, and it's called CBCS. I will be honest, the CCBS probably are actually harder grades. They will authenticate signatures. They don't quite hold retail value as high as CGC, but it would be more than it would be if it was raw.
What if I had an authentication certificate?
They don't count those very often, only because there's been so many forges. So, just being honest with you. I mean, to me, I trust most COAs. It's usually pretty easy to tell if it's a crappy COA or not. And obviously I have a lot of stuff that's like Dynamic Forces and stuff. These are big name companies. So no, listen, I think it's great. This is a super hot comic. Miguel O'Hara is being introduced into the next Spider-Verse, the animated movie, the second one.
Oh, so, that's right.
Yeah. So this is a very hot comic book right now. and I say that not knowing the market as of exact moment, but I will tell you it's definitely a hot comic. It would be on a hot list of, let's say, 20 or 25, 100% certain. Hot comic book. And that's not even the first appearance. That's actually the second appearance.
I got to throw this into a new bag. Definitely.
Yeah, we got to get you rotated in good bags and boards. It's a nice
I've got
comic.
Yeah, it's showing a little.
Yep. Oh, Cimmerian. Okay, good job. Love Cimmerian. Conan.
So
sandals.
This is from Ablaze. And this takes some of the French comics, the bande dessinée, which if you happen to see Razorfist's last video, then you would know a bit about how that's the French market. And this takes the original Robert E. Howard stories and will adapt and does fairly faithful adaptations of them.
It's awesome. And they were uncensored ones, right?
Yes. So I got to be a little careful. I just wanted to show off that they also have in here the actual
text.
Yes.
Yeah, get on your spectacles. Try to read the actual text, but it's there. So cool. Yeah. It's very, very nice. I'm just really thrilled they're doing that kind of work. Really, really am. To see this kind of stuff get immortalized and translated to new readers and new people finding it and stuff like that. I think it's just great.
And one of the interesting things that really stood out to me is just the fact that the size of this edition, this trade, just to use the Spider-Man 99 there, for example, it is comic book size.
That's true. It is a little bit smaller, isn't it? Yeah. Than a normal trade. Sometimes you're bigger. It's nice, though. I really love it. And by the way, Chris Purges says Miguel O'Hara is the only other Spider-Man, period. That's a jab at Miles Morales. Yeah, Miles Morales there. Dave Bob says, I have 3 mint copies of Wolverine #1, Mylar with heavy cardboard backers, never opened. Dave Bob, which Wolverine one? The limited series one or the solo series one? So go ahead.
And then the last book on my stack is
Elric
and Millibone.
God, Elric, man. Not enough people know about Elric and that soul-stealing sword of his.
No, they know more about his rip-off copy that is The Witcher.
Yeah, indeed. Great stuff there, though. I don't own any of that stuff. I gotta find a copy of that. Look at the action and the movement. This is so gone from most modern comic books. The detail, the intricate details on things. That's why these Comicsgate guys are making all this headway, because they're the only ones doing this kind of stuff in a lot of books. A lot of books don't have this. So, awesome.
And this is volume 4 of this series.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool.
Well worth a read.
I agree with that. Awesome. Okay, Dave Bob says the #1 of the limited. Ooh, that's the nice one, right? The Wolvie with the finger. Oh yeah, Wolverine. Yes. Back when he still had cigars. Yes, Arwen's in the house. Hey, lady, hanging out with us indeed. So Dave Bob says he has both. Awesome. Yeah, Dave Bob, those are hot, especially the limited series one. That cover has become like iconic. Like I think I've said several times. You guys hear me beat the drums. Covers have taken off in a big deal. There's like some of them are obvious that you would think are iconic. Other ones are just it's like exponentially more iconic and more sought after. So I have 2 more things. One is again, go into the long-term box. Go into the long-term. I meant to show this last week. I don't think I did, right, guys? So this is an actual trading card set of He-Man Masters of the Universe.
No, I don't remember seeing this.
Yeah, I must not have shown it up.
Wow.
I know. I can't even believe we have these things. And it's like, look at this. It's like they're like from the cartoon. They're not it wasn't like like an artist wasn't hired as like a contracted work. They just took like screen stuff from actual show, Skeletor talking and things like that.
I'll never stay in focus, He-Man.
No, I don't. That is the goal, guys. I got to get to the first level here to get another webcam. Yeah, this is He-Man transforming. So yeah, they're nice. They're not bad. I got to be honest. It was very nice set. Very nice set of these cards. I did not price them at all. I have no desire to get rid of these. They're beautiful. I don't know. Don't know where I got them or how long I've had them. They've been around for a minute. And I will say the main reason I would not get rid of them right now is because I also have with them all of the stickers. And stickers are many times way more difficult to get in good condition than the cards are. So, and they're all puzzles on the back. So people are really after good quality stickers. So I'm trying to think of, yeah, they're just, there they are.
Oh, dude, I had that. I put that guy on the side of my parents' record player when I was a kid.
Yeah. So, and this is the last thing I wanted to show you on these. Okay, so I have 2 of these in the box, right? Any cards from this era, a lot of times they have different backs. So they're variations. Like you'll see them listed as like an A and a B kind of thing. I don't remember. I don't know enough about He-Man to tell you which one would be like more rare than another. I have the same thing with Goonies. Goonies has 4 or 5 that have variations on them. So, yeah, my He-Man cards going to the long-term box. We'll see. Don't have confidence that the He-Man movie is going to be worth checking up the values of these, but yeah, you never know. Never know. So. All right. Let's see.
I think those Conan books are going to be do more for that than the movie.
No, I agree. I think that all of this stuff is definitely going to continue to bubble to the surface, and then I think when people start to realize that they're interested, the prices will have already moved. Some of the stuff's just rare. Some of the stuff's just rare. Pacific 414 stopping in. Hail, my friend. Decepticon says he has a Venom Lethal Protector one. Again, beautiful book, a beautiful red covered book. And if you have, again, a nice cardstock one, that's a tough one to find. Dave Bob's got Wolverine and Kitty Pryde limited series. Keep an eye on that one because I will almost. Never mind. Disney Marvel's involved.
Where she turns into a ninja. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to tell you that there's a lot of love for the Kitty Pryde character, bringing her into things, but I don't want to speak for Disney Marvel people. The normal comic book people, the really good, smart people want Kitty Pryde involved, but I don't know for sure.
But I think people who only really knew the comics, or people who only really knew the animated series, I should say, are going to want Jubilee.
Yeah, no, I understand. All right. Well, we're going to be whipping in the driveway here as we head towards our home stretch. Stone Loki. What's he got here? Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun,
So
dun.
that is the Enterprise D of the Playmate ship series. It's got phasers, photon torpedoes, warp drive, impulse engine sounds. The nacelles light up when you press the little action button.
So awesome.
Really good buy. That the Excelsior. I've got another one here I'll show in a minute, but all of these were really good buys. They were really, really good buys. I got a really, really good deal. I got the ships and the bridge. I have not opened that bridge yet. So I pulled it out just a tad to make sure that it was intact, and I put it back in because the guy said all that's ever been done is they took them out, pulled the batteries out of them, and put them right back in. That's all they did.
Awesome. It's good to hear.
I'll take the inside price, not bloody A, B, C, or D.
Well, you did the right thing. You went to a Star Wars centric convention and bought Star Trek stuff.
Yeah, I bought Star Trek stuff.
That's the way to buy, man. For those of you who want to know, the best tips from buying from some OG like me is you go to the off con, right? So you go to a Star Wars con, you're looking for Transformers, Battlestar, Trek, you're looking for all that kind of fantasy stuff. You go to, if you go to, different themes, different messages, you go opposite to what their focus is. You'll have better success on deals. So, All right.
And because I got all of these at the same time, they gave me a really good deal. The bird of prey is nice. The wings clip in.
Okay.
It makes sounds: photon torpedo, impulse engine, warp drive, disruptor cannon, sound effects, and then right across the wall from this alien Star Trek murder shrine is this.
Ooh wee.
Now the painting above that was done by my aunt who passed away, and I always loved that painting. And when she passed away, she left it to me. So obviously I've got that up on my wall. The other two I actually bought in Branson. The two in the middle, is a original Star Trek. It's got a couple little pictures in it, a little story about the cast and everything, and then a Star Trek 3, very similar to that. The bottom photo, though, I can't tell you where it came from. I can't tell you when it was taken. I can't tell you if it's a reproduction or not, but it sure as shit looks cool.
It sure does.
So,
Leia Rose is here. Folks are still popping in and out. Yeah, so lots of good stuff. That's beautiful, man. That's cool, man.
Thank
But you got it all decked out too, man. It's the best way to enjoy it and take it all in.
that is not my doing. I did not design. I did not organize. It was just my stuff and got put up in a very cool way. So,
well, there you go. You know you've done something right when they do that for you, because that's
right.
what mine did too. Mine actually, I got to give her credit. In the old house, she decorated the entire, what people would call a man's cave, but it basically became the family entertainment room. But it was all my stuff, and she purposely found some shelf that would hold, different size type collectibles. She'd done it so the TV, so stuff would fit above the TV. It was just like incredible. So, and they did do it at the new house. They did at least hang stuff on the wall. The room is extremely small, but it's wall to wall with stuff that's hung and framed in there. So at least that stuff. So Leros says, let's see. You have a signed autograph. I have one with Chekhov from a conference. Pretty cool. Awesome. You have to share that to us sometimes, Leros. All right. And as awesome as that collection is, I love your aunt's painting. A perfect heirloom from one generation of fan to another. Nice. I agree.
Thank you.
I agree. All right. Leia's there. So let's go back to Loki one more thing here. See what we got.
I didn't even know that was still up there. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. I wanted to see because I'm recognizing the Cobra Commander in the middle.
If you look at the right, that is Serpentor, and that son of a bitch is drooped all the way down, like leaning against the bar. You've got to literally like bend their ankles back to get them straight. So eventually that whole shelf, that middle shelf's going to come down. I'm going to take everything. I might leave the helmet up because I love the helmet, but the G.I. Joe figures will come down because I'm tired of fixing them, and I'll put something else up there. But that's that shelf where I was showing the figures.
Yeah, you're showing the top shelf and stuff. So I stuck the photo in there because it was up on the screen. So probably shouldn't have done that, but I did. So I have this terrible photo that I was able to get. So you know how you've met people or you have an event, and then whenever you don't have a camera, so you have your cell phone or something, and then when you go to do it, you're like, the photo doesn't turn out. The flash went crazy. They were blurry because you were asking someone to hold it for you, those kinds of things. Yeah, that's pretty much how this whole meet and greet thing went for me. So the only photos that are even like in focus, I was able to take, because you weren't allowed to take photos, but with the press access, I was allowed to at least get a couple of photos. So inside the room and the back of the room, there's a meet and greet.
Oh.
Yeah, so there he is on the right with a red leather jacket, leather pants, talking the talk like a boss, like he is. So I was able to get a couple pictures from the back of the room. So that's really all I have from this event. That was truly a tremendous experience to get to meet him when he was on tour, promoting his book, and he has a great. Oh gosh, where is it? There it is. Great little scribble for me. I'll take it. Yeah, because we could just do a stream just based on the photos and behind the scenes stories of all the stuff. And I know you did a dedicated stream to this, and I couldn't be a part of it. I think it was one of the first times I was trying to connect to one from the farm, and nothing worked. But I cherish this so much. I'm such a huge fan of the movie. He was really cool in real life. It was a good night, fun night. And yeah, my photo with him, the photo of my wife and I with him are blurry. They did not come out at all. It was like, okay, all right, take what I can get. But that's a treasure. So Leia says, met Jonathan Frakes at a Chicago con in the 90s. All right. I have my fair share of some TNG stories, but okay. So before we close, we'll run down real quick again. Next Tuesday. So here we go. 1 week, 5:30 p.m. right here on Talk Hard. Director Ron Underwood, director of the Tremors. Well, that was boomery. Tremors and City Slickers, and he is he's directed episode 1 of the new Tales of the Walking Dead. Olivia Munn and Terry Crews are in his episode, the new anthology TWD show. So he'll be with us. So Talk Hard's getting its first guest, I guess. I don't think we've had a guest yet, have we, on this show? So he'll be our first guest. So, and just what's this start gap? So I saw Andre the Giant there in that book, which reminds me that I got the WWE Andre the Giant action figure. Oh yeah. Awesome. Very cool. So, So yeah, what's going on, Ironcaster? You got another stream coming on? Did you do something yesterday? I didn't even look to see if you did something yesterday. You're trying to move to Mondays. I know.
Yeah, I intended to. I want it passing out. So we're gonna start this next week. Awesome. I want to try to do some positivity streams and share some more love of these things, because I mean, there's so much out there people just haven't had a chance to get to yet, or stuff they love that they want to talk more about, and it seems like something fun to do,
Yes, it does indeed. Souls Aslam is asking, does anyone know where I can join the Brute Squad? There we go.
You are the Brute Squad.
The Brute Squad. Chris Purchase got the links there for Ironcaster. Make sure you're connected. Yes, it was probably now a week and a half or so ago. Ironcaster has an incredible video of recommendations and things like that. He is the man trying to keep us positive, trying to steer us towards the light. And the man below me, though, yesterday, I had to call him personally and let him know that he made me curse, because he went on a Jelly of the Month rant. So if you have not seen Loki's Mornings of Mischief and you didn't see or listen to Monday's show, there's a Jelly of the Month. If you don't know what the Jelly of the Month is, then that's another reference for another time, because that's my favorite reference to me.
I literally asked afterwards, "Where's the effing Tylenol?"
And I died. I literally, holy ass, blah blah blah. And I called him that afternoon and says, "You made me curse. You made me laugh so much. Because I cannot tell you how many times I've ranted and raved, and I'll go, whoa, where's the Tylenol?" Trying not to curse, but just like my wife's like, oh yeah, she's gone full on Clark Griswold on us. So Mornings of Mischief. See, Thursday is with Dr. Adega, right?
Yeah.
Good to go.
And we've got something special coming up a week from tomorrow. About a year ago, we decided to end a show called the Comic Book Roundtable, which was run by me, Clobbern24. We are going to be restarting that next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Awesome.
So, and it's just some geeks hanging out, talking comics, looking at comics, the old lunch table arguments where, which character's better, which comic book's better, which event was better. So Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. every Wednesday. We're coming back, and we're going to come back hard. So.
That sounds great, man. I'm awesome. I can't wait to check that out too. Yeah, Thursday next week is going to be Dr. Adega, but Wednesday, so not this Wednesday, not tomorrow. A week from tomorrow.
Yeah, a week from tomorrow, we're back.
Comics.
So, and you're actually the first channel this is the first place I've even mentioned it. So we just got logistics figured out today.
Awesome.
but we've been talking about this for a couple weeks, so it's going to
The
be
return of the comic book roundtable next week on Loki's channel, Wednesday, a week from tomorrow. So Punk Waddle came in a little late with toys, and maybe not. Hey, catch the replay, my friend. We're wrapping up, but yeah, Loki showed off. Ironcaster showed off. I didn't have any toys to show off. Toys are on the shelf behind me, and other stuff's at the farm. I don't move them around. It's too much driving around. Trying to pack them up and unpack them. It's just too much risk of something getting broken. So I don't do that. So I have a busy, crazy schedule too. So let's see, what day is today? Okay, so tomorrow, 2 streams, Pops Talk at 5:30, Mad Check Mags, and The Vac Tube. That's right, Daryl the Derelict and Darthelina will be on with me at 5:30, and then at 7:30 p.m., Project Storytime will be joining me to co-host an interview with Scott McArdle. He is the writer of The Fuhrer and the Tramp, this incredible graphic novel, a comic book series, five-issue series. It's just a lot of fun. Charlie Chaplin meets Hitler, and I kid you not, just an absolute freaking blast of just history and fun and parody and all that kind of nonsense. This Thursday at 7:30 p.m., I'll be on with Noob's Review. That's right. She wants to talk comic books with the old man. So we're going to talk more comic books with Noob's Review. If you haven't been on Noob's, Megan is such a treat to watch do reviews of comic books. She is full of energy with this great big smile and goofiness and silliness and excitement and enthusiasm as a brand new comic book enthusiast and things like that. So feel free to check that out. And then Talk Hard next week. We'll have Ron Underwood on with us on Talk Hard. And that Wednesday, I kind of have a new stream idea I've kind of thrown together. I'm going to call it kind of Deconstructing Blank. So you think you like, but, and then, so next week, I'm going to have on a common idiot. I don't know if you're familiar with his channel. We're going to do Kenobi. So Deconstructing Kenobi. So you think you like Kenobi. So you think you like Kenobi, but... And we went and found people who were saying all these different things at different channels. We pulled together a few of the things that they think they like and explaining to you why they're completely wrong. They're completely wrong. They have like moronic takes. They have immature takes. They have very juvenile, whatever it is. So a commentator agreed to be my first victim of kind of coming with me hard at some of these different things that are getting propped up for all the wrong reasons. Like these, I just don't get it. I don't understand. So I said, well, someone has to be the voice in the wilderness to kind of like dumb it down for even the normie. So that's what we're going to do. So
Pops, you need a clip from the movie Repossessed where Leslie Nielsen's like, I need a young priest and an old priest.
Bring me
exercise the demons.
Yes.
I need a young priest.
See, great comments in there in chat. Decepticons Cave's going. He's talking about some of the incredible toys that he can show off. Dude, if you go to Decepticons channel, man, there's tons of great stuff. Takes you back through different things. So check that out. So, but yeah, people do think they like it. So we're gonna break it down. So busy stuff. It's been a great time hanging out, man. Seeing behind the walls of the Loki castle. What's on the shelves? What's on the walls? Getting to see the xenomorph again. I still have that photo on my phone. I think I saved it.
Bob. That's Bob.
I know. And then Ironcaster, of course. Oh, that Spawn. I can't get the Spawn figure out of my head. That's actually the one thing that stuck with me the great because of that cape. Capes. It's an amazing cape. It moves. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful. So anyway, folks in chat, thank you so much. Chris Persia holding it down. Running things like a boss. We appreciate everything he does, everything you guys do so much. Thank you so much. And what's this? The longer I look at the background photo, the more Ironcast it looks like a young Cactus Jack, but with teeth.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang, bang. Ironcaster is such a good sport with letting me put his little image to music and shenanigans about Conan and everything else. So.
I never know what to expect when I'm here with you sometimes.
No, I'm trying to make it fun for you guys too, right? I want it to be fun for you guys too. Like if it's just like, all right, we're going to do this, and it's just like, oh, okay, it becomes like plug and play. It can become boring. It can become like formulaic. I don't want that like at all. Like that's the last thing I want. So, but listen, that folks, listen, make tomorrow better than today. Be blessed, be yourself, talk hard, and we will see you next week.
Right? And I'm not playing.